What makes Notist different, though, to other platforms such as perhaps, I don't know, Speaker Deck or things like that?
Yeah, well, I guess the two sort of big things that are out there are Speaker Deck, as you mentioned, and also SlideShare, which is part of LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And what both those platforms do is they both pretty much do the same job of allowing a public speaker to upload like a PDF of their slides from a presentation, and they turn it into something that can be presented on the web, and that you can create an embed of to put into a blog post. And you can send the link out to attendees.
Right.
But they pretty much both just sort of stop there.
Right.
Generally speaking, that's the limitation. They're a feature rather than an entire product, I would say. And that feature is taking a PDF and turning it into some images that can be displayed on the web.
Yes.
Now, that's a really useful feature. And if you're a public speaker, that's a useful thing that you need. But my co-founder and wife, Rachel, and I are both public speakers. She much more than I am. She's on the road 6 months of the year speaking at conferences. Yeah. We both felt the need for something that went a little bit beyond just sharing your slides online. And we also, in using those products, and we've both used both of those particular products, we found that there were some sort of slight annoyances and deficiencies that we thought, we could do this a bit better.
Yes.
And so that's where the idea came from, not just to upload a PDF and share slides, but to create more of a site that could represent an individual as a public speaker. So I kind of think of it, if somebody asked you, what are your contributions to open source software or something like that, you might say, go and look at my GitHub profile. Or they might say, what's your photography like? I see you with a camera all the time. You might say, go to my Instagram profile, and there you'll find everything about you'll find all my photography.
Sure.
Notist kind of is like that for public speaking.
Right.
Somebody says, what conferences have you spoken at before? Yeah. So, here's the URL. Here's the list. You can see everything that I've done.
Yeah. I was checking it out earlier, and I just got lost in a rabbit hole of looking through the slides and then finding another talk that speaker had spoken at, and then also you have the tweets below it, so you kind of feel like even though you weren't part of the conversation at that particular time, you can actually see the conversations around that particular slide, which I think is pretty awesome. I do this with YouTube a lot, where I watch a video and then I get recommended another video, and then before I know it, 3 hours have gone and I've watched a video on how hamsters do some crazy trick. It was kind of like that, where it was sort of like I went through one slide, a slide deck, and then I found another slide deck of the same speaker, and you kind of got a feel for the talks that particular speaker had done in a very sort of portfolio-esque kind of way, and it presented that information really well. Whereas, like you said, with Speaker Deck and SlideShare and stuff, it is less of that. It's more sort of like this is the set of talks or set of slides that I did for that particular talk, but it's not joined. You don't have that sort of connection between the other talks that speaker has done. So yeah, I mean, is there any other particular features that make Notist stand out compared to the other platforms?
Yeah, well, that presentation page, as we call it, is a really key aspect of what we do. So rather than just sharing your slides, we enable presenters to collate any resources. So if they've mentioned websites or books or anything like that in a presentation, they can actually add those as annotations underneath.
Oh, that's super handy. Yeah, that is super handy. Yeah, because often I'll look at a slide and they've just got like they'll have a slide that has perhaps a list of links but you can't do anything with that unless you actually type out the link in the URL in the address bar. That is really, really handy, just having those links accessible there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm liking that.
You can, if it's a sort of development, tech based presentation, you can embed CodePen embeds or gists or from GitHub or any of these things. You can put those right in the page.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, that makes it so interactive.
If you've got a video, which these days so many presentations are actually videoed and then the event share them afterwards. If you've got that, you can embed the video in the page, which is really, really handy.
Yeah, because I know that some speakers, they'll do they'll video themselves writing code to get around the whole live demo type thing, and they'll start and stop the video at certain points and then talk through what's actually happened. So that would be really handy if there was that sort of linkage to perhaps YouTube, or where they can actually access that video. Again, if they were just doing it through a slide, then it would be very static. Yeah, so for that scenario, one of the really neat things we do is once you've uploaded your deck, you can go into any particular slide and say, right, I want to replace this slide with a video, or I want to replace it with an animated GIF, or I want to just upload a replacement. I've noticed a typo in this one slide, and I want to upload a replacement without having to replace the entire thing. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So we've got those sorts of features as well that just make, they're just content management features essentially, which makes life a bit easier.
So you can actually go in and pick and choose and remove and replace slides within your slide show. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.